Okay. Yes, this is your soul brother Talib. I'm back at you earlier today. I was on a live stream hangout with our brother Angel Snup 7 from the platform of Reality Temple Ministries. And today we spoke about a subject called the ADOS versus the black immigrant. And I just wanted to make a solo video of my own, to add on to some of what we were talking about in that video earlier today. And, with ridiculous comments that was, being mentioned in the comment section, which I couldn't see, but Brother Angel was able to see. Now, I must say this, because right now I am at the point in my life where I am seriously, working to eventually prepare myself or possibly leaving this country. And this is something I've been wanting to do for some time, of course. A long time, ever since I have even became what they call in the pro-black community conscious or woke. And, to our plight as a people here in this country. But, however, I want to say that, because unfortunately, we may not be able to get this Mississippi campaign off the ground, but hopefully, I'm still optimistic, of course, that it will happen eventually. But in the event that we can't do that, I'm definitely out of here. Go through the whole nine, get the passport and the visa and whatever I got to do in the plane ticket and get the hell on up out of America. Because this country is becoming more worse than ever, especially according to its history or what it was established and founded on, which is slavery, oppression, lynchings, Jim Crow, mass incarceration, racial profiling, gerrymandering, and so forth and on. And it's also became a tumultuous, in general, it's also became a tumultuous, violent nation overall, in general as well. And, people want to talk about what's going on in Mexico, Colombia, other parts of Latin America, like Peru, Chile, Venezuela, Asian countries like Indonesia, the Philippines, and all this other stuff. What's happening in the Middle East, and of course in a continent called Africa, where it's 50-something nations located at. But right here, the same thing you see happening in those parts of the world, far as the violence, the overall violence, and the corruption, is getting worse right here in America every day. Okay? And, it's not too many places to go in this world. There's no way you can escape this madness on earth. But there are countries that I've done my own personal research about, that's just more, how can I say, less tense than this one that we're in right here in the United States, okay? It's less tension because things is more economically stable with the economy. You know, the governments of them certain nations are being more fair to their population and citizens of those countries when it comes to the economic situation and the welfare of the people, you know. So that's why in them certain countries, we don't hear about so much violence and hatred and mayhem going on like it's taking place in this country. And of course, there are those who's known or best described as being expatriates that have gone to these countries and have did videos and documentaries about their experiences in these places. And they say that their experience, especially being dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, is quite different from the way life was for them over here in America. That's all I've heard, mostly. Of course, there's racism, prejudices of all kinds throughout the world. I don't doubt that, okay? That's no doubt. That's a fact. But however, they say their experience, 90-some of them say their experience was nothing like it is here in America being black. So there has to be a way out this hell. You know, it got to be a way out this hell. And with that said, I must also point out too that, you know, I have to say that because there are a lot of black immigrants that are coming to this country, whether they're coming from the continent called Africa or they're coming from the Caribbean or other parts of the world where they're dark-skinned people, black or brown, so to speak, you know, and all that. How about this? It's time for us, as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, to decide our future and destiny. Whether we want to change our situation here in this dump for once and for all, or just pack up and leave. Because just staying here and existing is definitely gonna make it worse on us as a group of people. I mean, you know, like I used to hear back in the 80s and 90s when I was in the pro-black conscious community, where the black man or the black woman or the so-called Negro in America is an endangered species. Yes, that's true. I have to say 1,000% I am in agreement with that. We are headed for extinction. And right now, we only have two choices. Either come together and unite so we could take control of a state, matter of fact, a couple of them, and carve out a better existence for ourselves from what it is at this point in our time of being in this country. And, you know, and not only that, but make it better for our future generations to come behind us. If not, pack up and leave. Do like Nature Boy did. And those of you in social media especially black social media, know who I'm talking about. He left and went to different countries, particularly from my understanding in Central America. Okay. And although he was deported from several of them as well, because of mistakes he made, of course, which is public information, see, me and people that think like-minded as myself would not make them same mistakes. Knowing what our plight is as a people, being in this country, especially for over 400 years, going on 5. And also, too, I want to mention that, if, dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America cannot unite, at least on the level of where me and Brother Angel Snup 7 and people on our platform are coming from, in terms with this Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign ideal that was, started by us from this platform. Then, like I said, you better start encouraging yourselves and one another and actually preparing to get the hell out this country altogether. Just like them black immigrants who have come over here. And since these racists want to replace them with us anyway, lead them over here and let them see how it is to really be a nigga. Or how to be the N-word, how to be the coon, how to be the wretched whores that our people have been depicted as for centuries being in this country. Let them see what it is to really be dark-skinned in America. Since they don't feel like it's nothing wrong with being here, because they glad that they're not where they came from, because of corrupt leadership and governments in those countries that they fled from just to come here, Instead of them doing what they need to do, taking what they could get out of America and going back over there and straightening that stuff up that's going on over there with all that corruption and division in those nations on the continent in Africa and in the Caribbean, And since they claim to be independent people from these different countries, but yet they still got they former European colonists dictating what they do and how they do it, whether it comes to their own governments or even to their own currency. In Africa, there are some countries like that were up under French colonialism that still has to pay reparations to the French, or that have had to pay reparations to the French, to their French former colonists, even to the point of them controlling their currency, like I believe the Ivory Coast, or a couple of them countries over there that was up under the French colonists, And then the same thing with Haiti. Here it is, they fought for their independence up under the leadership of Toussaint Louverture and General Dessalines. They had to pay reparations to the French government just because they fought to free themselves from the oppression of their slave masters, who were the French colonialists. So like I said, but that's not our problem as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. They should have been dealt with that a long time ago when they so-called, gained their independence from their former European colonists. You know, they should have dealt with that, where they wouldn't even have to be running back to the countries where their former French colonists are located at in Europe, or running over here to America and Canada, or to some other white nation like Australia, trying to seek refuge because they can't get it together in their own countries. So, like I said before, it's time for us as so-called African Americans, Black Americans, or whatever we wish to refer ourselves as, which I preferably call the people of soul, to create a new reality for ourselves, to change our, and to take control of our destiny, especially as far as being free people being concerned. Because staying here and just existing, and I don't care how many millionaires or billionaires we got among us as a people, the racists still don't respect us. And that could clearly be shown. They still don't respect us. No matter what type of successful careers we got, successful, great paying jobs we got going, nice houses, cars, and all that other stuff, the racists still don't respect us. Shouldn't that tell you something, Black America? Since many of you want to refer to yourselves as American, something I really wish and really don't do, because it ain't nothing American about being a dark-skinned descendant of a slave born in America. We're not looked upon as equals in this nation and never have been. And as far as these races is concerned, never will be. See, it's something you got to wake up to, to realize that. And the thing about it is that, as far as, like I said, we have to carve out an existence. Or like I said, become expatriates ourselves. We have to. Either we carve out a better existence for ourselves by taking control of a state, or we become expatriates. Like you see the Black immigrants who come here to America doing, coming from the countries and continents they come from. Where it's time for us to make a choice and do either of those two things I mentioned, or suffer the consequences, which is called extermination. Because that's what we facing. All this marching, protesting we've done, even for the past, even recent several years, over these racist police shooting and gunning our people down in the streets like dogs, and brutalizing our people every day, and all this other kind of stuff, and we and the victims nor the families is yet to still get justice. What does that tell you? Wake up. Stop being comfortable in this cesspool. We are in enemy territory. And at least one thing I could say about it was that our ancestors understood that better than we do now. And the main reason is because we think we free in this generation. We think we free. which is totally opposite from what reality is dealing with our case as a people in this country. So like I said before, we are very much in a situation where we're actually in enemy territory. Not only the fact that we got the forces of racism coming at us harder and harder than ever, but we got even each other coming at us. We got our own people coming at us, trying to kill us, kidnap us, rape us, trying to tear us down, especially over petty, minute reasons. We can't even unite as families, let alone as individuals. So we got a lot going on against us in this country as a people, and we really need to understand and realize the true, in-depth seriousness of that. Like I said, we got the choice. Do something about our situation by carving out a better existence for ourselves within the confines of this nation, or getting the heck up out this nation altogether. We either got them two choices or die. And that's just that point blank. Die. If you want to continue to be a slave in a slave-like condition, die. And that's just the bottom line to that. This is not no game. You've been warned. You've been warned for the last 100-some years up from chattel slavery. You've been warned. You have been warned. And you can't say once it does happen ultimately, when we become a complete exterminated people, that you was not warned. You would never be able to say that even in your grave, that you was not warned about this. Destruction to come upon us. Because we have been destroyed. We are actually a destroyed people right now. But the thing is that we're, like they say, the walking dead. Just waiting to crumble over. Or as they say, we just waiting to kick the bucket. We just, and then the crazy part about it is that, with the fact that these black immigrants are able to come over here and do better than us off the, due to the struggle of our ancestors, we're stupid enough to embrace this with open arms. More than we're willing to embrace wanting to see each other liberated and free from all this madness and doing better as a people. We have unrolled the carpet like we have for everybody else in this country, just to come in our space and do whatever they want to do. You see it in our neighborhoods every day. You see it all around us as a people. And it's just terrible. And the fact of the matter is that we are it's definitely not getting no better. And those of you in the Pan-African and Kemetic community, that want to claim Afrocentricity and Pan-Africanism and all this other crap, you need to wake the heck up and stop giving these Africans a free pass. And I'm talking about them Africans that's coming from the continent. And that's over there in the continent. You need to stop giving them a free pass. They showing you every day that they don't give a damn about you. And those of you that go over there to the continent, the only reason you treat it, like that guy who do that channel called Search for Uhuru. The only reason people like him is able to go over there, Dr. Boyce Watkins and them is able to go over there and be treated as they claim with royalty or welcomed as royalty as they claim because they got money. Go over there and don't have no money. You'll see a whole different picture. You will see a whole entire different picture from what it is to be treated like what you call royalty. And like I said earlier today, when me and the brother did a live hangout, you'll probably end up dead. Somewhere buried up under, the ground over there. Or floating in one of them lakes over there somewhere. Where they got them bushes at and all that, Yeah, y'all think this is a game. This is not no game. We all we got. But since most of you don't want to unite, out of the 44 plus million of us here in America who are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America, I just must say this, is that, hey, you welcome. You're welcome to be exterminated. You are wholeheartedly welcome to go on your way and becoming an exterminated people. Because I don't want to be around when these peckerwoods exactly decide to haul you off to them concentration camps and mass graves, which they got waiting for your happy ass. I wouldn't, really, I wouldn't want to be around. I would rather be dead. If I had to take even that choice, I would rather be dead before I see that. And hopefully by the end, I'm dead whenever it do happen. Because that could happen under any given right circumstances in this country. Especially with the way this country is going. This is nothing to play with. Y'all say y'all know about history, let alone so-called black history. Y'all know about world history, as some of you claim. You forgot about what happened to places like ancient Rome and Babylon? And they were said in their own time to be just as much as powerful great empires as America is today. But yet they no longer exist, right? You think the same thing can't happen to America? You think America is immune for that? You actually think America is immune from that? Well, you got to be very mistaken. Keep thinking that. Just seriously keep thinking that. And you're going to be in for a big, shocking surprise. Especially if you live longer. This is not no game. You need to wake up and see things for what it is. Me and brother Angel Snup 7 and sister Noble Levine, don't get on this platform to just entertain you. You want to hear some entertainment, go like you did Sunday to hear people like Farrakhan speak, to hear people like Umar Johnson speak and run their mouth, Tariq Nasheed. If you want entertainment, we not here for that. We here to try to bring our people together in unity so we could carve out a better future and situation for us and our generations to come behind us. Because we know that we're headed for extinction. We're headed for extinction, and we know and see what's coming down the pike. So if you want to keep playing games like that with yourselves, your family, and the future of all of us as a people in general, then be my guest. And whatever happened to you then, you gonna deserve it. You would deserve it. As simple as that. A lot of some of you even go as far as committing yourself to the struggle of other people like the Palestinians more than you would to the struggle of your own people. Committing yourself to the struggle of other dark-skinned people who don't even give a damn about you as a so-called Negro here in America. Wake up. Stop acting backwards and doing backwards stuff. Got to get your priorities straight, my people. That's what it's about. Because we lagging. And then we wonder why we at the very bottom of everybody else in this country as a group of people. Wake up. I mean, this is serious. Ain't got time for this. Our babies dying every day. Our babies can't even feel protected going to them schools that y'all be sending them to. Because then they got to worry about being harassed or brutalized or even possibly killed by police while they in school trying to get a daggone education. From school to prison pipeline and all that crap they got to deal with. This is why we are very, very stressful and emphasizable about this Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign ideal. Because this will be the answer to those situations that I just mentioned. Like with the school to prison pipeline, the gerrymandering, the police brutality, racial profiling, mass incarceration, and all this other crap we face every day as a people in this country. But like I said, if you don't want to do that, you got another choice. Do like them black immigrants that we was talking about earlier in that other live stream video. Pack your stuff up and get up out of America altogether. Like they decided to leave whatever country or origins they came from to get here. I mean, we claim to be the smartest, unquote, black people in the world, the most advanced, the most intelligent black people in the world here in America. So then we need to show or act like we are. Because a lot of you say that, especially in the conscious community. You claim you more intelligent and advanced than the Africans from the continent of Africa and even those who are from the Caribbean. Well, far as I see, the way they moving once they get over here to America, it seems like they way more ahead and advanced than we are. On the backs of the struggle of our ancestors, which is something that is reserved for us to take advantage of as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. So like I said before, hey, we need to wake up. We need to wake up, and step out, and as they say in the streets, step our game up, because those dark-skinned people coming to this country from foreign lands is definitely stepping their game up at our expense. And that shouldn't be happening. And I'm also speaking to those of you in the Pan-African community and those of you that's in also that comedic stuff, you know, that want to give these Africans a free pass when they don't give a damn about us. Period. Even if you Pan-African. You know? But with that said, I'm out of 5,000. Peace.